quality never costs, it pays.
Welcome to the CQRA podcast, where we bring you prominent voices and industry insights from the construction and engineering world. This is where we discuss the ever-changing industry landscape from the perspective of construction quality, environment health, and safety, creating a repository of ideas that will shape how the industry in India will build and forge ahead. CQRA is a leading inspection and certification company based in India that independently inspects and manages quality and safety at a wide range of construction projects in the country and in the Middle East through a judicious mix of cutting-edge technology solutions and on-ground site management skills. CQRA has a strategic tie-up with Advanced Construction Technology Services, Beirut.
Our guest today is Omkar Bendre. He is the Joint Vice President and Head Quality of Piramal Realty in Mumbai. Building a culture of quality and innovation in the construction industry has been a passion and the focus of his professional life. A Mumbai-based civil engineer with a certification in practical quality management from AOTS Japan, Mr. Bendre is currently the Joint VP and Head Quality at Piramal Realty and is heading strategic initiatives and ensuring quality standards there. Mr. Bendre, we welcome you to the CQRA podcast and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, great. To begin with, I had this question sort of in my mind. Civil engineers generally tend to veer towards project management roles. So we are curious that as a budding engineer, what made you specialize in the area of quality control and assurance? And any specific incidents or observations, or did a mentor sort of influence you to take up this cause of quality in construction so seriously?
Okay, nice one. So, I was on projects, and as you rightly said, when you're on projects in our time, the excitement was always that we have to be in the project management role, and even I was not immune to it.
Right.
But, we were always drawn towards planning, which was a function where a lot of action was seen, and it was something where we aspired to become a planning engineer at that time.
Okay.
How I came into quality is something of a chance, that I had an inclination towards understanding materials. I had an inclination towards understanding processes, and I noticed that when our people work in quality, there was something called problem solving skill which was required to identify issues, and something which was very challenging. We used to see a lot of people sitting together and trying to understand what kind of challenges we are having and how to resolve it. So a lot of work of quality used to go into problem solving and more of resolving issues on the project vis-a-vis the materials as well as the processes. So I thought it was a little challenging and little different from your conventional execution roles.
Absolutely.
I got an opportunity to do it. Luckily, I was in Shapoorji Pallonji at that time, which was one of the biggest civil contractors. And I had an opportunity to work on the site in quality, and later on also work in the corporate office to understand the corporate quality, which includes your quality assurance to a large extent. Yeah.
Okay, great. And not just Shapoorji Pallonji, you have kind of worked with all the top construction and realty companies in the country. So it's Kalpataru or Ashoka Buildcon, Godrej Properties, and you've headed their quality departments. So I want to know, how has the QAQC landscape changed in organizations from the time you started to now?
There is a lot of change which is seen since those days. I'm speaking of almost 25 years back.
Right.
Quality initially was confined, the quality engineers initially were confined to mostly concrete and understanding, the mixed design and, as I said, material part of it. Also, it was more of a compliance-based role rather than a risk-based role. Nowadays, the biggest change is there is something called strategic quality, which I'm seeing coming up. A lot of leaders are actually involving quality into taking some strategic decisions related to the design, because we all know that quality starts from the drawing board. And their involvement, this has been a visible change in these years, that the involvement of quality as a business process, as somebody who is essential to strategy, has been coming out, and it is a welcome change.
I see. Okay. And then apart from talking about the corporate or the companies, the economic prowess of India is growing, and it has grown, since the last so many years, thanks to an educated and upwardly mobile middle class and upper middle class. So how has this change in the economics influenced the quality awareness amongst property buyers? What are the people demanding now which they were not demanding, say, 20, 25 years earlier?
One of the biggest change which I saw, rather the change agent, has been internet. If you see 25 years ago, it was not prevalent. Access to social media was not there.
Yes.
People are more aware. People didn't have Google at that time. Now everybody knows about construction. Even a layman can, ask questions which are, very technical in nature. So the awareness of people has improved a lot, specifically to residential projects, which I'm saying. And consumers have become more aware. They have become more assertive in their choices. They demand quality, and to top it up, the government has been super supportive in taking the interests of the customers in mind by bringing out the RERA Act. It is driven from the center. MAHA-RERA specifically is very proactive, very consumer friendly, and that has made a lot of difference to the quality perception, even from the developer's perspective.
So tell us a little bit more about RERA compliances for quality purposes, and also about this grading mechanism for projects.
So, RERA is an act passed by the Parliament regarding, safeguarding the interests of real estate or residential as well as commercial customers, and where a reference of the quality is largely given, where an undertaking has to be given by the developer saying that I am ensuring that the right quality of materials will be used on the project. Apart from the quality, they have also covered the financial aspect of the project, where an escrow account is to be maintained by a developer so that the funds are not diverted anywhere else and are used by the developer for the project itself, for which the money has been taken from the customers. Also, there is an undertaking by the chartered accountant for this, as well as the architect, that the drawings, the construction is as per the drawings which are submitted to the municipal corporation. And the engineer of the project, who also gives an undertaking saying that I have constructed the project as per the drawings, and undertaking by a quality engineer saying that the materials are tested as per the requirements of IS code, and which gives certain level of confidence to the customer, saying that yes, there is materials are being checked, and there is a quality assurance program happening in the organization, which will ensure that there are no defects in the concrete. Also, the most important point in RERA is that any structural defect in the project or anything related to defects such as leakage or such kind of things are covered under RERA, and the developer has to maintain the property to a certain extent in terms of repairing these defects or ensuring these defects are not done for a period of 5 years.
Okay, I see. But what is the cost of poor quality in construction, and how badly can it skew the balance sheet in projects? I believe on an average it's about 6 to 12% of the project cost. So how does this affect sort of the construction?
So there are mixed views on this. If you say the cost of poor quality in terms of manufacturing, then typically what happens in manufacturing a setup like production of automobiles or any other such kind of components, which typically has the quality assurance base, and this term of cost of poor quality and everything has come from those manufacturing companies. In construction, it's a different ball game altogether. In construction, identifying those costs is very difficult. So how do I put it? What happens is that most of the issues or the defects largely go unnoticed until quite late, after few years or 5 years or 10 years or 8 years. And so by the time you act on it, the developer or probably the owner of the project has moved on. And then the cost is borne of repair of those poor quality is borne by the end customer. Now, in case of manufacturing, what happens typically is the cost of poor quality is always in the form of rejections, right? And, production related issues where rejected material comes back. This normally does not happen in real estate. The chances of these happening is also rare. So cost of poor quality in construction, I would always say is, from what my calculation is, 0.3% to 0.5% and not more than that. However, depends upon project to project. I mean, if you are doing really proper construction, then the cost of poor quality will be very, very less and repair rectification will be low. Cost of quality is a different aspect altogether. There is a difference between cost of quality and cost of poor quality. So the difference is that in cost of quality, you have lot of prevention costs, appraisal cost we call it, where you put in measures like deploying quality engineers, having good processes in place. There is a cost attached to it, using good quality materials. So this is all something done to prevent cost of poor quality.
Okay.
That is how it is.
I see. And Mr. Bendre, you have worked in the corporates, the large corporates of the country. So what role does quality have in enhancing the brand value of an organization? And how have you seen this play out practically in your journey?
Yes. I mean, there is no bigger example than, cost of quality. If you remember, there was a big brand of mobile phones where their batteries exploded. It was one of the leading brands. It is still in terms of sale. And the name, it was associated with quality, but the day their batteries exploded, everybody knows the sales dropped down. They had to withdraw some models. And it was a huge embarrassment for the organization. So the brand takes a hit. We all know this has happened with multiple products, different brands. Go through this cycle. It's always a learning cycle. People become complacent. They push the boundaries where you can, play around and, take risks in terms of quality and try to push the boundaries in those ways where something goes wrong and quality suffers. So indirectly your brand suffers because people realize that, okay, this developer or this product does not have good quality, so let's not buy. In real estate, the case is little different because normally the priority of a customer when you buy, and I'm talking about Mumbai real estate, is they look for the location first.
Right.
So I have always maintained that when you look up to real estate development, it's very difficult to actually compare with any other product like manufacturing a component or manufacturing a vehicle, because from their perspective it is totally different in terms of brand visibility. People buy houses in India, 70% is what I feel, 70 to 80% people buy houses not known for quality but for location of their choice. This is the current scenario. People prefer to buy buildings, flats, apartments where they are comfortable. They see a school nearby. They see the locality. That makes the maximum, input in buying an apartment. And then comes cost, and then comes quality and all. But as you said earlier also, that the consumer is now aware. They are realizing that quality is important. And because too many people have been, have suffered because of poor quality of construction, and then it's a big fight to get your defects rectified from the developer and get what is due. So I think it's high time now that people start looking into quality first before you buy a property. But I'll tell you something. RERA is now coming up with a scheme of grading a construction project, I mean residential and commercial. So what RERA has proposed, MAHA-RERA has proposed, is that they will be giving certain grades to the project based on the quality which they are delivering, or over the quality processes which they are following. It's in draft stage right now, but that will be another game changer. Similar to something which happened in Singapore, there was the government came out with something called Building Construction Authority, BCA. And BCA used to audit, assess the quality physically. They used to go, their engineers, and check with different tools the project at various stages. And then they used to give a rating to a project, that is A++, or such kind of rating, where the cost was determined by the developer, that since I am A+, I will charge more. And people slowly started accepting that, okay, he charges more than this competitor because his quality is rated as A++, and that is why he is charging more. So that awareness slowly will come.
When can we see this sort of actually being rolled out, in reality?
As you said, it will be a game changer. People will be so safe, when they will know what they are buying. Because most of the people, when they buy a house or a home, they are not aware of the technical, inputs which have gone into the project, because it's not the, a job which happens in one day. Construction of a building typically takes 2 to 3 years, and you cannot go and check every day. So what material has gone, whether the design was proper, whether it is safe, whether it is earthquake resistant. So all these things a normal person may not understand. So the grading of the project gives them that safety, where they can blindly go and select a project which is certified at a certain level and be very, relaxed that they have put their money in the right place. So we don't know when this will be finalized, but it is in draft stage. The government has asked for inputs from various stakeholders. Initially, it will be a simple model, and later on, probably they will, develop it into more detailed grading process, from what I understand.
This will really be a game changer in the Indian construction industry if and when it is rolled out. Also, since we are on the subject of project gradings, many of our listeners may or may not be aware that CQRA is a pioneer in devising quality rating and indexing mechanism in India, and the company has been grading and rating construction projects in terms of workmanship, finished product quality, documentation and materials for the past 17 and more years. So Mr. Bendre, since you talked about RERA ratings for buildings, we feel that CQRA can certainly assist MAHA-RERA in devising this grading mechanism for residential projects. Also, apart from these RERA ratings that everyone as a consumer will be waiting for in the future, how do you see the QAQC industry shaping up? And what are the other new developments in technologies and practices that construction companies and end users must watch out for?
Yes, that is a very interesting question, because the technology is changing rapidly. We have seen new technology is coming. Aluminum formwork is widely used now. It was not used earlier. Slip form formwork is there, jump form, tunnel formwork. So these technologies widely used abroad, but in India now it has become very common. Every good developer is using these kind of. Safety has improved a lot. People are more aware about safety. Technologies use of drones is something which we have been seeing lately. Drones for not only seeing the aerial photographs and understanding the progress of works, but also using the drones for checking external walls. We have buildings which are almost 60-70 floors up. Earlier we used to check by physically using a suspended platform or using a binocular, very high powered binocular from ground. Now we have drones capable of doing that and getting high definition images about the surface of, we have used robots to check the quality of paint and quality of wall, whether it is straight, whether it is, there are undulations, and everything is coming on the computer showing that what are the issues in the wall, whether it is straight or not. Multiple applications by these robots. That is very challenging and it is very exciting. This is a great time where you have very good technology available at our disposal. And as we speak, there are people who are actually using these technologies for laying out the dimensions, for doing the line out on the site in residential constructions. So it's very exciting to see.
Oh, that's really something amazing. Mr. Bendre, you gave us great insights, strategic qualities, what you talked about, consumer awareness, RERA ratings that are in the offing in the future, and drones and robots for building checks, and cheap technology that is at the disposal of developers and project managers. So these were some great thoughts and great observations, Mr. Bendre. Thank you again for being with CQRA podcast. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me here.